Welcome back, everyone, to Cracking the Restaurant Labor Crunch. With me today, Mr. Hoang Nguyen, and he is the co-founder and director of client services for a company called Menufy. Welcome to the show, Hoang. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I'm really happy to have you here. Not only are you running a platform that helps restaurants with online ordering, but you actually have your own restaurant that you've been challenged by the pandemic with as well. So we want to talk all about those things. But let's start by, just hearing what you have to say. What are your thoughts on the labor crunch? Do you have any ideas or best practices that have come up from either running your own restaurant or some of your clients with Menufy? Just anything you think that's relevant to the audience and the challenges they're facing right now.
Yeah, first off, it is a fun industry to be in, but it's also challenging. It's evolving, especially with everything that's happened, and we've seen quite a bit of things restaurants are trying to do. First, I would evaluate and kind of assess what's happening to your own locations. Not all of us are experiencing the same exact problems, but with maybe staff shortages, where are your shortages? So we first looked at assessing, who we're needing to evaluate and then address those concerns first. So, for example, my restaurant, we're losing a lot of front house staff. So, as we were starting to assess that, we're hiring people to replace it, whoever we could find. And we were replacing so many that training was not quite in place yet. So, I now reshifted that to focus on my top 20%, my trainers, my leadership team, so that when we do hire or we help get them to help us hire people, the traction that they will stay longer. At the same time, it's giving these older employees more skill sets, and they're staying longer with the company. There's more incentive for them to be there. So that's what I've done at my store. I'm sure all of you guys are facing the same thing. I'm definitely empathize with that, and a lot of our clients at Menufy, they're definitely experiencing finding employees as a challenge right now. And some have issues with back kitchen staff, some have issues finding people at the front. Adding online ordering was something most restaurants had to consider during COVID, but that also adds a different layer of skill set in your business. Someone to monitor all the orders that are coming in. Before, your orders might be 10% from online ordering, and now it's over half your business, or maybe even more, depending on your city's restrictions on dining in. So I went back and we met with our team, and we focused on training our leadership team. And so we've been trying to keep up with that. And if we find some capable people to want to join our team, we give them the best training we can. So yeah.
So, what else are you seeing out there? Let's talk a little bit about the challenges with wages and wage increases and bonuses and incentives and all. I mean, you see the signs wherever you go, and now typically a lower margin business that was squeezed before the pandemic, and now costs are rising. It's hard the supply chain issues have raised prices on food products and other things, and now we have to pay higher wages. It's like, how is a restaurant to survive this? I mean, so many have already been lost to the pandemic, and now it's the labor shortage that's killing restaurants. When this is a time when customers are coming back to restaurants in droves, there's a lot of demand, and yet many restaurants out there have to shut their hours or close certain days just because they can't staff up for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember when I put a wage out there for hiring, and a lot of restaurants would do this, and you'll get 100 applicants, a month for this industry. Everyone, it's fun industry to be in, but
It
now
is.
you're lucky to get, 5 applicants this week, and they might not necessarily fit what you're looking for. So you have to become a little bit more adaptable. But wages are going up, and it's squeezing, the profits that restaurants are making. You're seeing food costs go up too, seeing that double. And so wages for our employees that you want to retain, you definitely want to take care of them. And so what I've done at my restaurant is I've done kind of a hybrid. I've definitely given raises to my entire staff for staying, but I've implemented kind of a bonus to stay with the restaurant, to help train, to help be with the restaurant longer. And so when they hit those milestones, and I'm seeing that work a little bit to offset some of the wages, but I think if evaluating that with the staff and kind of just assessing that is what we're trying to do to get through that. And hoping we don't raise the price too much for our customers, but we continue to do what we do.
Yeah, a lot of things that I'm seeing as well are, well, restaurants really need more than ever now to maximize profit on every sale, especially since the margins are shrinking.
Mhm.
And it may be time just to go back and reevaluate the menu because, prior to the pandemic, I was consulting with restaurants quite a bit, and many of them had menus just had profits all over the place. They had lower profit items in each category, stealing profits from higher profit items, and they were bigger sellers, and the kitchen wages were the highest wages paid in the place. And you see where I'm going with this. It's like, okay, you're selling lots of items that just aren't profitable. You're filling your seats, but you're not making any money. It's like time to reevaluate and re-engineer the menu so that everything, contributes a high profit. And that's a solution perhaps as well. Let's shift gears. You mentioned online ordering, and that was absolutely critical to most restaurants when the pandemic hit, of course, because of the closed dining rooms, because of the restrictions that you mentioned. And it's still critical, but there's still restaurants out there that haven't adapted to that yet. But it seems like it's the wave of the future. It's never going to go away. It's a new way of doing business, and it's a big part of the business. Let's talk about the process of onboarding and getting an online ordering system up and running. And what's the learning curve? How long does it take? And then does it in fact make things more efficient for the front of house? Do you need less people? Do you need the same amount of people, but it's just adapting to a new way of doing business? What would you say about online ordering?
Yeah, the process with Menufy is pretty simple. We will assess your menu and kind of see what your online presence is with your business, but we want it to be a part of your brand. Um, so we'll have a team. We'll reach out. We'll understand kind of what you're wanting to put out there on your website. If you have one already, we'll build an online ordering platform that will link to your site. But that generally could take as quick as you want to move with that. Our the process of the online ordering will allow your customers, and what we see the users being able to experience right now, especially a lot of people looking for this, is the convenience. Especially during COVID, a lot of people haven't adapted, but the people that did, they didn't know what restaurants were open. And so having an online menu was really critical for them to understand, hey, we can go to this restaurant. They do have dine-in, or they have a simple carry-out option. We have partnered with companies like DoorDash and Uber Eats, where you can order straight to your own website and get delivery as if it's your own. And the customers will continue coming back to your business, and that we've seen a lot of success there. It's very streamlined, where an owner who doesn't understand anything about technology, they don't need to worry about that. When we started this company, I was managing a restaurant where the owners knew how to give good food and good customer service. And so as we grow the business, we want to continue that. Do what you're good at. We have an entire team backing your website. We have 24-hour support. We continue to evolve. We evolve by adding different services that you will probably need as you evolve your business. Some things like we do now are digital marketing. We even provide print. We'll assess what you need as you evolve, and continue that so that you're successful with online ordering. So yeah, it's what we're doing right now.
Let's talk a little bit about the third party delivery nationwide, because I know that's a feature that you offer, and that has been a godsend, but it's also been somewhat of a controversial
Mhm.
subject with restaurant owners. You mentioned two of the biggest players out there, but I understand that you're offering this service at a reasonable fee. And I've heard in the past that, some of these companies did not allow the restaurant to keep or own their own data that they could use for marketing purposes. But your particular platform allows this, the restaurant owner to mine the data, to keep the data, to use the data for, marketing and other purposes, as well as pay a reasonable fee, not an exorbitant one. How does that work?
Yeah, the fees are our partnership rates with our companies, and the restaurants will pay that lower fee. The websites that the owners use are created and managed by Menufy, and all the data will be held there, and owners have access to it for free. If they want to use it, for example, email marketing, they can reach out to their clients, let them know, promotions. It's not held with a third party company, because all that data is going to go through their site there. So that partnership rate is lower, much lower, and ideally, customers are going to feel more likely to go to your website and order than an outside source. So yeah, that's definitely been a big benefit to our clients over this past couple of years with the COVID.
Fantastic. What other features does Menufy offer? We've talked about the online ordering, of course, and we've talked about, the third-party delivery and website. You will actually create a website for a restaurant if they don't already have one, and then everything integrates with most POS systems. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we integrate with some POS systems. We have Clover; it's a big one. We
Mhm.
recently Square, and we're working with a lot more. We're gonna hopefully have more tools that clients can use to reach out to their clients, their consumers. We find that a lot of restaurants are wanting to be able to do more for themselves that and have more control over that. So recently, Menufy's created a free email marketing tool that all restaurants can use for free, using the data that they've gathered from their clients who've opted in to hear more about their restaurants. And
Mhm.
so that's something that we are pushing right now to let restaurants utilize to increase their success.
Fantastic. Let's talk about your own concept. What type of cuisine do you offer? How old is your restaurant? How many employees do you have right now? Where is it located? I'm curious about all these things, and so is the audience.
Yeah, yeah. While I was working at a sushi restaurant, we came up with this concept for Menufy, and a few years later, I ended that to open a Vietnamese sandwich shop in Lincoln,
Hmm.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
And so that was one of our locations we first started with Menufy as well. And so we do Asian focused, Asian inspired Vietnamese banh mi sandwiches. I'm not sure if you're familiar with banh mi, but
I'm not, but I'm
are you?
interested.
Yeah, so it's
I'm not familiar with it, but tell us about it.
yeah, it's a Vietnamese kind of a French baguette sandwich with
Hmm.
the different flavors of meats. You got your combinations of different veggies that go into it, and it's a Vietnamese and French type of sandwich. And so, what I've done as a corporate director of operations before Menufy, I traveled a lot and I tasted a lot of food, and so I incorporated those flavors into my sandwich. And the city just welcomed this restaurant, and we saw a lot of success, and we just kept growing it. And online ordering was one of the first ones at that time too. So I was lucky to have a good brand online, and we just continue to push that and grow. And so I've been able to experience the growth there. We started with me and two other people working the front. I will register, wash my hands, make a sandwich, come back, and then online ordering was just starting to pick up too. Now I have 15 to 20 employees, anywhere between 7 to 10 employees at a time working. We've expanded next door just to provide faster service. We have expanded next door actually to create a takeout area. So DoorDash coming in, Uber Eats coming in, customers, they'll be able to come in and have a better streamlined process to receive orders, because that front area is getting a little busy with the phone calls, different people taking orders, delivery pickups. So it's been fun. I enjoy doing it. I do it just really because I enjoy the restaurants. I've done this for about 20 years, and I like staying connected with this industry. It's it's something I'm probably going to keep doing for a while. It's just like you, Roger. You've done restaurants and you continue to do it, and so I admire that.
Yeah, I mean, the passion in this business runs deep. And even though, the pandemic, like I said, has devastated this business, it's really time for operators listening to this to rediscover the passion, why they got into this business in the first place, and just dig deep, be resourceful and creative and just push the boundaries because, we're almost out of the woods on this one. The future is going to be very, very bright. We just have to get past it. And now is not the time to, be overwhelmed or to give up. It's just rediscover and relight your fire. And, that's my best advice to operators. Now, you've gone through, again, we both have gone through everything that our audience is going through with the pandemic and with the labor crisis. What's your best advice now to anyone listening? What would you tell them to get through it?
Yeah, again, early assess what you need and adapt. We do this, and we know as a restaurant professionals that we're going to get through. We have busy nights, we have staff not showing up for work, and things like this. And so find the
Right, right.
opportunity. And the opportunity right now for me is assessing my team and making sure we focus on building their leadership and their success to continue where you can. It's where I'm at is because of my team. And then obviously continuing to engage with your consumers, and they're going to understand hopefully that we're experiencing labor shortages and price increases. But I think you're right, Roger, we're going to definitely get through this, and we will. This is just the industry.
Well, thank you so much, Hong, for being part of this. It's a really important service, and we're really hoping to reach lots and lots of restaurants across the country. And just if they listen to just one video and it gives them an inspired idea or something they can actually use in their restaurant, then we will have done the industry a great service. So I really appreciate your being part of this. Thanks so much to Performance Food Service for being our diamond sponsor. And audience, please tune in. We have many other interviews similar to this one, and it's all designed so that you can go to this page at your convenience and listen to hopefully all of them. Thanks again, Hong, with us and Performance Food Service. And we'll see you in another episode. Thank you.
Thank you.